Welcome back, everyone. We have pigeon pose. So there are a lot of different ways to do pigeon pose. We are looking at one of the most common expressions when we begin sitting on a bolster. You could sit on a blanket or a block for this. I think the bolster is the most comfortable. So the first thing we do is from seated, Tracy's going to walk her feet over and sway her knees to one side. And then she's taking her top leg back behind her, inching it back, and then turning and squaring her hips. Now from here, I can see that there's a lot of space under her knee and shin back to her ankle. So we are going to prop that in just a moment, but I want to go ahead and get her upper body set up. So go ahead and come down a little bit, Tracy, and let's see what the space looks like under the chest. So of course she could stay here, but chances are this isn't a position that she'd be able to fall asleep in or meditate in. So we're going to put just a little more propping to fill in under her chest and her head and her neck. So let's try this, Tracy. Come up a little bit. And maybe let's make that little ramp again for her. Let's slide this in right here. And then we can always put a block right here. Let's see. So we've got this ramp effect, and now come down a little bit. Does that feel better by chance? Okay. So now that we have this filled in, she's able to hang her head nice and loose. She could turn it to the left or right if that feels more comfortable. We can see in this shape that she does have, when her head was forward, she had some cervical extension here, but now that she's able to realign the spine with this prop and turn her head to the side, you can see that that has softened in the neck. So just watch for any excessive cervical extension in this pose. Arms can stay where they are forward, very traditional. In cases of rotator cuff discomfort, the hands could always go back, and we might even just let the palms come up. That way you have the shoulder a little more protracted and forward for protection of the rotator cuff. Now let's look at that back leg. I do see that space under her knee all the way back to her ankle. So I am folding up a blanket here. I'm just going to slide this underneath her knee and her ankle. There we go. All right, so we can see that all of this space has been cleared in now, and she's able to get comfortable. In cases where you have maybe a sandbag or an additional heavy blanket, we could always drape that over the low back or over the sacrum region. And even just a gentle press into that sacrum region can help to release some of this in the hip flexors and the psoas. Right. On to the next pose.